What is going on, guys? Nicholas here, and today we're going to talk about why all practice is important and why it's important to take all practice seriously. Now, first I'm going to talk about dry runs just a little bit. I have an entire video, if you go to my channel, on dry runs and 5 steps to properly use a dry run, which will kind of cover more in depth what I'm going to talk about here. But it's important to pay attention when you're dry running, because when you're entering into a site, say you're entering into here, you need to know where you're looking and where your teammate's looking. One of the best examples I can give is when you're looking Mirage, a Mirage A take, which I'll pull up. So we are going to use train for an example. The biggest example I like to use is that if you have 2 people pick here and no one watch here and no one watch here, you're like leaving room for backstabbing. So it's important to pay attention when you're dry run to know that, like, okay, I'm peeking here, you're peeking there, and someone's watching a smoke or sandwich drop. Right? So if you're just throwing smokes around about, oh, whatever, man, like texting your girlfriend and not paying attention, when it comes to the match, you're going to leave gaps in your executions and you're going to get backstabbed. Now, this video is going to focus more on, that's pretty much it for dry runs. We're going to talk about playing lesser teams in scrims, because this is where I see this is where I see the bigger issue. You're playing a team that's not as good as you, and you just kind of literally, the term in NA is scrim out. So if there's a smoke and you want to scrim out, you run through a smoke like an idiot and kill people. That shows that we're not doing a good job of scrimming. Hello? It should be, we should just pug this scrim would be a better term, but instead we're going to scrim this pug and run through a smoke at A. Something fucked up there if you ask me. Now if you just do that, right, say you're just scrimming out during your scrim out A and headshotting people on train, because they're not as good, you don't have to try as hard. You're first of all, you're not refining your team strats. Your teamwork's not going to refine it like that. You're going off an individual skill. Second, when you play a better team, they're going to shit all over you, because you're not going to know your smokes, and you're not going to be prepared to actually play a systematic game to beat a better opponent. 3, you're destroying the practice of the other team, because they have to watch this demo, and if they don't have anything to learn, because all you did is run out and headshot them because you were much better than them, then you're just wasting their time and your time, because now you're desensitizing yourself and creating a little bit of like a little lackadaisical overconfidence about how you're going to play this map in your actual matches, and you're giving them no information to get better. You're just literally hurting both teams. You're both just falling off. You're getting worse and worse from this. So now if you look at reasons why it's important, is like I just said, it helps the worst team. You play, even if it's 16-2, and you play the best Counter-Strike you can play, they can look at that and compare your setups, their setups, where they're breaking down, where you're not, and they can figure out and bridge between it and build their strats up to get a little bit better. Now, it's also good for you, because you could use this time to test strats that you're not really sure about. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, we're about to go into overtime, we need some weird-ass strat, right? This is a good time to test those. It's also good to test if, okay, you have a standard, you have a standard A take, but maybe you want to work on different rotations and different lurks. Just because a team doesn't have as good aim as you doesn't mean they don't know how to play the map. They could potentially, I mean, maybe they don't, maybe you're playing a completely new team, but regardless, they're still going to rotate when the bomb goes down, stuff like that. You can learn rotations. You can figure out when you can lurk. You can set some timings and try to maybe going this way, but then pushing 2 people Ivy instead of running 2 people out T-Con and then 3 people. You know what I mean? You can try different things so that when you're playing a better team, you could catch them off guard, because you have all these different little weird gimmicks that you've added to your basic strat. You can set traps that way, and you can test these traps against a lesser team. Now, a good example of a team that, I mean, the prime example is SK, right? They came to North America where everyone was complaining about how scrims were crap, there was bad practice, and became the best team in the world. And the way they did this is they played good Counter-Strike within a system no matter what. So as they're beating teams all the way until the bitter end, when they were Luminosity Gaming, they would play good Counter-Strike. They would play the right way. They would play in the system. They would play with a lot of discipline, and they would practice discipline. When you're playing against a team that's less than you, it's a good time to practice discipline as well, because they're playing scared. They're playing slow. Most of the times you're not going to be like, oh, wow, this team is much better at aim than we are. Let's play really fast. No, you're like, all right, they're pretty confident against us. Let's try to get a pick. Let's try to bait them into pushing us. Let's wait a little bit. They're not gonna play super aggressive. They're gonna play slow. They're gonna play scared. And so if you get antsy, you could throw that game away. And so it's a good time to like kind of develop your discipline as players. Like, all right, just sit here and let them make their move. Let's like, we're better than them. There's no reason to go to them. Let's not be stupid on our CT side. Let's build discipline. So this way, if you're in a match and you're playing against maybe a team that is better or a team that is good but plays slow, you're not getting so antsy and so amped up to go. So it kind of helps develop this discipline in that area too. And so I remember a couple of pro players from other teams talk about how they would play SK, and all the way until the 16th round. And some of the casters talk about it too. They would play good Counter-Strike no matter what. They would never just kind of like scrim out until like well after they won the first major. I saw them do it. I think against Complexity was the first team they did it. They kind of messed with them a little bit. They like Mac 10s I think on like buy rounds. So you could see like how they got their start though was that they played a well-disciplined game. And the same thing will happen to you. If you play discipline, no matter who it is you're practicing it in what scenario, if it's CEVO, if the servers are down, you got to play matchmaking. If it's an ESEA team, but only an open team accepts or tries to scrim you and you're a main team, you could still benefit from it if you practice the right way. Practice right. A lot of people practice their aim by playing against bots who don't shoot back. Same thing. It's about learning your muscle memory. It's about learning your positioning. It's about learning what time you have to do what smokes you have to go. The same concept. You can learn to shoot against a bot who doesn't even shoot back. Well, you can learn to be a better team by playing people who aren't as good as a team as you are. And it probably benefits even more when you're being pushed. It's easy to push back, but when you're not being pushed at all, have the ability to push back even harder still is just going to develop you into a better player overall. So short video today. I hope this helped. I hope this kind of cleared things up a little bit. It's just a big issue I see is people not taking scrim seriously to a point where like maybe you should have won a scrim 16-2 and it's 16-14 you're almost losing because you're making mistakes, and then now as an IGL I got to go back and look at that and be like, oh cool, you guys played like assholes. I just watched an hour clip for nothing. We all just wasted our time, all 10 of us. Me more so because after we wasted our time in the game, I went and wasted my time watching the wasted time. So it's just very important to, when you show up for practice, be there, be in the right mindset and play the best Counter-Strike you can play no matter what. Every scrim, every dry run is a round in a match. Always look at it that way. Like I said, I hope this helped. Happy holidays. Sorry I was gone for a couple weeks. It's been rough times over here. I lost my job, so I've been doing some like odd jobby stuff. And then the major qualifier came on, and I honestly just watched every single game for like 8 hours straight every day. So I was like, didn't want to be on my computer anymore. But we're back. It's like 10 o'clock now. I'm posting this video, and then I should be streaming like from like 11 to 3 today if you guys want to come hang out. All my social media, all that good stuff's in the bottom. That's pretty much it. If I don't see you guys or talk to you guys and you don't come to the stream, then have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.